There are some who say DC cannot be united. The Nationals have united DC. We are here today for our love of each other, and the love of the Washington Nationals, and as fans as the Washington Nationals. We're also here because of this great game of baseball that we've all come to love, and to crown your Washington Nationals as World Series champions. This is from Bob Carpenter's recent victory speech at the Washington Nationals parade ceremony. He is the voice of the Washington Nationals. Your surveys showed a lack of interest in baseball, describing it with words like slow and boring. But the point of my speech today is to persuade you that you should like baseball and enjoy baseball because it's the national pastime instead of the actual boringness of the sport. First, we're going to start with what is a national pastime, and then we're going to move on to how baseball exemplifies what a national pastime should be. So, what is a national pastime? According to your survey responses to me, it's something that a nation can value and enjoy, a leisure activity. So first, off of that really good, solid definition of what a national pastime is, we're going to look at what a national pastime should do as a response to that definition. A national pastime should unify. A recent Wall Street Journal poll came out saying that Americans agree on one thing, and that is we are divided. For a country that is split 50-50 on most political and poll decisions, it's fun to see a poll that's actually in agreement of something else. The one behind me. But we're all worried about what can unify the country. Sports can unify the country. I've been on teams and I've cheered for teams that have been able to watch the unification playing for each other happen when players suddenly realize that they shouldn't be playing for themselves but for the team or the love of the sport. They're able to come together and we are able to see hope in that. Second, a national pastime should entertain. As Americans, we love our entertainment. In 2000, the Department of Labor and Statistics came out with a poll asking people under 35 years old how much money they spent on entertainment. And in 2000, the answer was $1,435. Now, entertainment in that sense covered going out to eat, TV, radios were still an option, and cell phone service. And it would be fun to see if they come out with a poll in the next year or so how much money is actually spent today. This was well before iPhone bills, cell phone charges, data, Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, all sorts of those entertainment bills. Also, in entertainment, Americans love our sports. It's a $100 billion industry in the United States. We see that through the amount of professional teams we have. MLS, MLB, the PGA, the NBA, the LPGA, NLL, just to name a few. NASCAR, maybe. Is that a hot take? Maybe not. And we're able to see that the asterisk by sporting events stands for gate fees and admission fees, as well as including food at games. So it's a $56 billion industry. Understanding how a national pastime should act or should cause society to respond in the sense of unification and entertainment, well, let's look at why or how baseball is able to do all of those things. We're going to first start talking about why baseball or how baseball fits into the national part of national pastime. Cultural theorist Pierre Boudard, who's French and behind me and is a looker, believes all sports connect to class and gender variations. In Leonardo Casciuto's book, Cambridge Companion to Baseball, Casciuto answers back saying, it's striking how poorly baseball fits Boudard's model. For the game tends to collapse such gender and class distinctions. Boudard believes that there are sports for rich people, and there's sports for poor people, and there's sports for men to watch, and there's sports for women to watch, and there's no variation. Casciuto pushes back on this idea again later, saying baseball tends to have more female fans than other male sports. And it has a wide range of male stereotypes that watch the game. It has the beer-drinking, large man who's just very involved, cheering very loudly, to maybe the highbrow intellectual who's taking the statistics down of the game or scoring the game for himself for later. It has a wide variety of people who watch it. In education, we call this cultural and social capital. How easy it is for someone to talk to or interact with someone who looks differently than they do or like is different than they are. Baseball is something that provides lots of social capital. Why also? How also is it a national game? Well, many people across American history have compared baseball to a religion, and especially to Christianity, as it is America's dominant religion. Tom Lynn, in his book National Pastimes 5 Million, refers to faith and baseball. Says this: further, the book asserts that baseball, like religion, contains communal force that assembles friends, family, and strangers as a congregation. He goes on to say that that congregation can be ranging in devotion, but it does unify them. And that's something that baseball does extremely well. It brings lots and lots of people who do not look alike, do not act alike, do not dress alike together to watch a game that is truly an American sport. Another reason why it's a national sport is its popularity. 7.3 million people went to Major League games last year. That does not include the massive farm system and minor league system in the United States. And $7.8 billion were made by the MLB. This is all off of the Wall Street Journal and Forbes, who did a study on the money brought in by the MLB and the amount of fans who have been there. Understanding that baseball is a national thing by the fact that it unifies and that it's popular, we're able to now look at why baseball is a pastime. Baseball has been, the major leagues, as we know it, have been around since 1876, when the National League was formed. Baseball was a combination of various stick and ball kind of games where hit and running was played, and that was played as early as the colonial United States. A little bit of reference, the NBA was 1966 and the NFL was 1920. The rules haven't changed, which is why it is still the way that we know it to be today. Mitchell, in his book, Will Baseball Survive, says this: field dimensions, the 90 feet between bases, 60 feet and 6 inches from home plate to the pitcher's mound, all have remained unchanged for centuries. So someone watching in the 1920s would understand what would be going on with Jackie Robinson and Roberto Clemente, or understand how far Ken Griffey Jr. was able to hit the ball, and understand the significance of the Chicago Cubs winning a World Series. Baseball is a pastime because it's also shown its adaptability. It's shown its ability to change throughout the course of the history of the United States to reflect the social era of the time. So, breaking the color barrier with Jackie Robinson, or, as said well by Mitchell in his book, Will Baseball Survive, Will the Big Leagues Survive, says this: had the MLB insisted on remaining all white, pushed away Spanish speakers, it would have lost its status 50 or 60 years ago. Baseball and its adaptability has shown it's willing to change to the sport in the era of the time, wanting to capture audiences. And it does it well through maybe the skill of the player, as well as the movies that have been made about it. It also passes time. If you've ever been to a ballpark, it's magical how fast the time will go by as you're eating ballpark food and cheering for your team. Understanding what a national pastime is and what it should do, that it should unify and entertain. We're able to see that baseball does that very well. Baseball's able to unify the country by bringing people who are not normally friends together, as well as entertaining and holding the captivation of audiences for almost 200 years. Hopefully you've been convinced that you should love baseball because of the pastime and what a pastime is in this nation and its ability to affect the nation for change. Now go and play some ball.